Live streaming is on.
Yeah.
As it's new, I'm not sure where to, if it's in the Spring backlog or where. Let me see.
Yeah. So is that fixed on prod, or just the fix is available on staging and it'll move over soon?
On staying so far. Yeah, I would like to make some testing before sending to live, just in case I break something.
Yep. I'll go over and test it, but since it's kind of icky on live right now, I'd like to see us get it on there as soon as we can.
And I forgot to mention also, I work on an issue that Rick mentioned, I think last week, and it's that when you try to put the ENS domain in the project creation, you would get like a flickering with the past address that were there. So that was scary. I remember that you mentioned that, yeah, that it was like weird that you put an ENS and you got another address. So that's also fixed if you want to check out on the project creation. That's also working now.
All right, I do have a quick question, and maybe I need to reload it, but when I go to the home page right now, and I scroll down, it says projects. It shows me 3 projects, which are not like top projects or anything. And now I can't actually see how to get to the rest of the projects. I can't click on the word projects, and there's no see the rest of the projects from that view. It's just some feedback I see as I look at it.
Yeah, there was supposed to be a show more press, but I removed it by mistake. Thanks.
Well, even if you make the word projects clickable, so that if I click on it, it brings me to the project page, because the top nav bar disappeared now once I scroll down. Yeah. And yeah.
I have some updates to give you. But basically, I didn't tackle any issues since last week. I made an update because I missed the call on Sunday, so that you can check it. And in fact, the test for the project creation are set, but I would like to someone just try, and maybe James or Matteo to try it and test it in local. So maybe to fix some issues, because maybe it's working on my local computer but not on yours. So I just want to be sure about that. And during
so that's just to run Cypress locally, is it? Like npx. If I pull staging or the master branch and then run npx open Cypress, is that it?
No. The current PR.
The PR.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Before merging, just to be sure that it's working. But yep. I spot an issue. It's when you create a project. I saw that the test. Yeah, I will take that later. But if you're creating a project and you fill the project name and you click on next and then you go back, there are some issues when you want to try just to refill the input with another name. And so yeah, Matteo, you seem to
I noticed that yesterday by just when I was working on that. So if you base your branch on staying and check again, maybe it's fixed, because I noticed something was weird in that aspect.
Yeah. Okay. So I just need to pull the develop branch and that's it. Yeah, okay. So I'll do it now and just push and
That's
tell
what
you if
I push directly to staying, so you have to base on there, not develop.
not develop.
Staying, yeah.
Okay. Okay. And so, and what was the issue? Just curious about that, because it's, yeah.
You know that we were using React forms for cooking that. So I noticed that when you are updating the fields, the hook actually didn't re-render or didn't update. So yeah, I tried to. I made a use memo hook for the default values. So every time that it's updated, the whole hook will update using the use memo hook.
Oh, okay. So you didn't use the React hook anymore. I mean the automated. But okay.
Try it out. Maybe it's not the same error, but I think it's related. But
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. So I check that and maybe add another quick test because of that issue I couldn't implement a test. Like you go next, then you go back and refill the input or something like that. So thank you, and that's it. Maybe I can just assign me to some issues for the next week, just to. I don't know if there are some available, but if I had some time, I will tackle them.
Yeah, there's the sprint backlog. You may take any issue from there, or else we can talk. Just reach out to me. We can talk about it.
Yeah, okay.
If there's not enough.
Okay, thank you. And that's it for me. So if someone...
Thanks, Merlin. Mitch, do you think do you still want to have a go at this quality score calculation thing?
I mean, I'd like to. I'm just like Redis and PSQL and all this stuff. Like, I think the problem is the impact graph tutorial doesn't have all the information on it. Mm-hmm. So like I'm missing parts that I thought I had already set up, but like I'm open to try it.
Okay. If you have time this morning or today, I can talk to you about that.
Yeah, like give me an hour maybe after this call to finish up some stuff, and then we can do it.
Okay, let me know then. All right, any other updates?
Actually, I was wondering if you guys wanted to talk about that suggestion I made Sunday or Monday about having less dev calls. If there's any thoughts or we wanted to make a decision about it.
Yeah, I mean, as I said on Discord, I feel like we probably don't need 2 calls a week. I think since we're on 2-week sprints, that we could have a second call based around that somewhere, either for sprint planning and retro and all this kind of business or something else, and then just have 1 meeting per week. And I would be happy to try that. I don't know, that was just my opinion. I don't exactly know what other people think about that. But what do you guys think?
And what would you rather do? 1 meeting on Wednesday or Sunday?
I mean, for me, it feels a bit like we do our update on Sunday, and then we go into the community call, and then we pretty much say the same thing. I mean, it's nice to be able to talk about it before on Sunday and then have a concise idea of what it is we want to say at the community call. But in reality, I think like when we're at the community call, what we really need to communicate clearly is like, where are we in the sprint? How's it going? When do we expect it to be finished? When do we expect to test? When do we expect to deploy? This kind of stuff. So it's probably not important. I don't know. I think like maybe Wednesday would be better in my mind if it was up to me. What do you guys think?
You most probably noticed I'm not present on the Sunday calls, and I probably won't be unless, you know, I just happen to be around and have no other business to do. Because like family first. And so I would say like Wednesday for me is kind of better. Reducing the number of calls. I'm always for less meetings, more work. So like, you know, if it's not necessary to have a call, we can even if like this call, if we, you know, had our updates over Discord and everything is clear and like there's really no need to discuss something in particular, you know, we can just like say on Discord, hey guys, you know, there's nothing on the agenda and we can skip it, but really that has to come like from the whole group, right? So yeah, that's just my thoughts. I can pass it on to someone, maybe. I don't know. Danny, you want to say something?
Yeah, I'll chime in. One of the things that now that we have more people that I've been looking at is how we can streamline our workflow of ideas and suggestions that are being proposed right now as GitHub issues that in the past we were pretty lean and we just made issues for everything. And then we had to talk about them in these meetings. But now there's a little bit different workflow that we can do where there's more people to work on things at different times. And I'm looking at creating issues first more in the planning board to have them reviewed and discussed and prioritized so that when we make an issue on Giveth 2, it's clear what to do with it and that it's been discussed and worked on in other places first. And like, for example, gone through you, Marco, for design before we throw it into the Giveth 2 GitHub. So I see more other work in other areas first that reduces what needs to be done in this call. And I think once a week is totally fine. But I also really do want to be able to come to this call and talk about the issues that are on there and talk, you know, say, is this an easy thing? I'd like to be able to get that feedback on the issues that we create, on how long will it take, which sprint will this go in, so that we can communicate that. So those are my thoughts. I also work on Sundays and I don't mind having the meetings on Sundays because I don't do the Monday to Friday thing. My family stuff is at different times. So I'm indifferent as to what day the meetings happen, but I think it's great to go down to one.
Should we put up a straw poll in the Dev2 channel and make a decision for this Sunday?
Sounds good.
Yeah, I say nothing, but because I started not for so long, but I agree. I'm not present on Sunday, so yeah, I think I prefer Wednesday too. So it's Wednesday, like today. It's perfect for me.
I guess the other comment I have is that anything that we need Willie for, plus needing European folks for, those are the tricky ones, right? Because it needs to be in a morning before Willie goes to his day job. It can't be in the afternoon after because we lose the European folks. So that's the other thing, is we have limited morning spaces available to get certain key people together.
But he's able. Oh, go ahead, Marco.
Yeah, just wanted to ask. We do have a governance call on the Monday, so like Willie is usually present on that one. So like, if we can just steal 5-10 minutes for whatever crucial thing is to discuss prior to the Wednesday call, I think that's a solution as well.
Yeah, I'm super cool with using, I mean, governance is prioritization of what we're actually going to work on and agreeing on that. So if we were to talk about dev decisions in there, that's a great use of that time.
Okay, back to Mitch.
You just said what I was going to say, Marco.
Oh, okay.
So, there you go.
Yeah, so
Cool. Well, our calls are getting shorter and shorter, so that's a sign we need less meetings, and maybe that we're better organized or something.
I mean, like, look, if sometimes there's gonna be a need to do really, even like additional call because we have to discuss something more broadly or have a hack session or something like that. I mean, we can always schedule something during the week, right? But like stick to that for starters, one call, and like whenever needed, like just add another one for that week or whatever, right?
Certainly. And I think if there is only one call, I think we'll be, if there's things that I really want to talk about, like, and they get such a short piece of time, like we might even have an agenda, like, and that might even make us even more effective, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so like, whenever we do have like longer discussions or chats on Discord, that's a sign for a call. It's like if I end up typing for half an hour something to explain whatever, let's just put this on the agenda and discuss it on our next call. Done, right? And so that's how we're gonna build that agenda for the weekly dev call. And if there's no agenda, if like we have nothing to discuss, that's fine. Like we can skip the call and move on. Like whatever. So let's just be flexible.
Maybe what we can do is just update the cards on the Zen Hub repository, like the in progress staging and stuff like that, just to clear and to have a better view on where we are at the
Absolutely. I mean, that should be. I hope that our cards are up to date. Like, I'm definitely guilty of at times forgetting, but like, for sure it would be great if I think our cards are pretty up to date.
Okay, because I have all the issues I've tackled last week in progress. But I don't know if they are on staging or something like that. I'm not sure.
So your issues, this is documented somewhere, but
yeah,
like go ahead, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead, James.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. I just wanted to say that there's some documentation on this, but generally speaking, like when you are ready for someone to test your work, then you move it from in progress into user testing, the user testing column. And then generally that would happen on staging. And then once it's been tested and confirmed, then it would be moved by the tester into the done column. Generally speaking.
Okay. But
I'll send you a link to the.
So, and how do I know who is responsible to merge from the develop branch to staging?
Any of us can do it. Generally, it's any of us.
Okay.
Basically. Yeah.
I have one question, and I'll use the example of like this morning I got up and saw Griff had posted an issue because the FAQ is wrong and has conflicting information from what's in docs. And I jumped in there because I saw it and I was like, oh, I can edit this, but I actually can't. I can edit docs, but I can't edit what's in the FAQ. So going forward, when we see new issues that indicate like something's incorrect or needs to be handled, we'll just, it's fine just to post that into the dev channel on Discord and say, hey, there's a new issue that needs some prioritization. Is there any one person who's kind of responsible for looking at those new issues and seeing if there's something that needs to be addressed? Or is that just, we just put it in that channel and somebody will grab it?
We should probably assign it to someone. As Marco suggested last time, if it's not clear who, then you can assign it to more than one person. If you're not sure, then you can assign it to me.
Okay.
Yeah, same here. I pay attention to the new issues like at the moment and try to respond as soon as possible. If it's urgent, I assign myself or ask James if I believe that he's more adequate to tackle that. But yeah, I think the best is to assign, if in doubt, both of us. I'm Merlin, maybe.
Okay.
I'm just to comment on this one. I wanted to suggest first thing, like when we're working within the current sprint, we should be focusing only what's in the sprint backlog, like we asked us developers. So like whatever comes there in the new issues, we're not looking at it unless our servers are down and like, you know, someone is gonna die, right? So that should be our focus. And like when creating new issues, my advice was like, because you don't know who this issue should be assigned to, just, you know, assign people who you think or you want to ping, because you think like, maybe this needs design, maybe this is front end, maybe this has to do with the back end. So just tag those people, they get notified, and then once we do the prioritization and like picking those issues, we're just going to remove that all other people and keep just one assignee to the one issue. And that's something that should happen prior, like on the sprint planning or something like that. So that was my initial suggestion.
Okay, so I hear that, and I know a sprint is 2 weeks. So does that mean that all new issues, that new issues aren't going to get looked at until the next sprint completes and prioritization session? Because that doesn't feel.
They shouldn't be looked at. Otherwise, we're going to be derailed. We're going to lose focus. We're not going to finish the actual sprint, what we planned for. I think that's
you can flag it as critical. I mean, like there is a critical like flag or two, you know, and like we would encourage everybody to like use labels where they make sense. And like if something's got a flag and you notify one of us, it doesn't mean that we will not step out of our sprint, take a cut from the production master branch, pick something that's urgent and put it immediately into live production if it needs to be done that way. But we need some way in sprints to to plan our life, right? And like to communicate that to other people and all of this stuff, as Mark was saying.
Yeah. As I said, like if something's critical, mention that person, label it as critical, you know, send a DM on Discord, you know, call them by their phone or something, wake them up in the middle of the night. I don't want. But yeah, I would definitely suggest that we focus on what's in the sprint backlog to finish that. I already see now a lot of issues over there. Mostly, I think they will get done. But like if we just keep looking at the stuff and fix something on the go, we're actually not gonna finish the issues that the whole sprint that what we planned for. They're going to be dragged into another sprint and maybe into another sprint and so on and so forth. And
I totally get that. I just want to set expectations and understand when something will get looked at, because I'm hearing we're going to shift meetings and shift purpose. So I want to know in my mind when a customer reports something and I put it in there, what should I tell them about when they're going to hear something back? And that's for me as well. So I just want to know those expectations. I know there's 3 things that James, you created. It says contributors, you need to know these things. I'm not sure how current those 3 things are that are up at the top. But if somebody's creating issues, I'd love for them to be able to click on something there. It says, hey, before you create an issue or when you create an issue, here's when we review these issues. And if something meets these criteria, go do this. Not that has to happen right now, but in my mind, that's what I was looking for, and I didn't see it. So that's why I'm asking right now.
That's really cool. I mean, it's great that wasn't clear and that you highlighted that. I mean, generally speaking, we will have a sprint planning meeting before a sprint. And at that point, like we will decide what will be in that sprint. And if there's an issue that you need in that sprint, then you should be there to champion that, or at least tell someone that you need that in there somehow, right? But yeah, you're right. Like I'll keep an eye out when I next create an issue and figure out where to put that, like a link to that.
Awesome.
I'm really glad we spoke about this. Another thing that popped into my mind that Marco reminded me of there, like if we're having a lot of chat in Discord, that like maybe we should have a meeting. It reminded me that like this fiat on-ramp situation or something like this. I would feel a lot happier about this if there was like some owner or 2 on this. I feel like Willie's been really busy and he's been mostly driving this, and I would feel like it's going to make more progress if we can have at least 2 to 3 people, like maybe a smaller group, like that are responsible for this. That would you know, keep track of what the progress of that is and things like this. Because from my perspective, I don't know, like I feel like I need to have it as an issue and own it, and I don't know how that fits into a sprint, for example. And I think like if there's going to be a lot of research done and there's going to be a lot of this kind of things, you know, that maybe it's not a dev that really, I mean, maybe our dev resources are better off looking at issues, you know what I mean? So I don't know what you guys think about that. Like, I mean, and the idea of having like a smaller group, it may not even be a group, just a pair or a person or someone or something to like take responsibility about this. What do you think? Or where do you think we are at with this? I mean, like, what's going to happen next?
So you mean create a small like small group, just focus on the on-ramp issue?
I mean, like right now, like we have sprints, and in the sprints we have issues that go into the sprints, right? But there is this like background thing of the fiat integration, right? And like the task right now is to figure out what it is we're going to do, who we're going to partner with, or whatever, right? But I don't feel like there's any kind of oversight, or like the, you know, there's a list of options that Kai wrote down, for example, and he did like some checkboxes and stuff, and it was very, very useful. And then there's a whole lot of stuff at the moment sitting in Discord, for example, and I don't know who's responsible for all of this except maybe Willie, but I don't know if he's going to pull all this together or what's going to happen. So I think like if there was at least one other person like that was working with Willie on this, or potentially more than one other person, then I think that it would be more effective. Like this is something that like Griff flagged, and I agree as probably what comes next, or something that would be very cool in the event of givebacks being delayed, as in right now, for example. So I think it would be useful. It's a bit of a side project. It's a bit of a parallel project. It's a bit of a so I don't know if anyone's particularly interested in this, or if anyone, you know, wants to take this on or something like this, but I think that it would probably help this get done faster if there was one other person who was taking responsibility for this, at least. I mean, it can be me. I don't particularly want to either, but anyway, think about it. I don't know if you could even agree with me. We can talk about it again.
Curious, James, this probably doesn't actually need to be a dev, right? Because what is most needed is somebody to kind of gather all the information, keep it in a certain place, and organize maybe some working group sessions to review information and plan next steps.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like we first of all need a list of ideal features of what exactly it is that we want, right? Like, I think it would be awesome to have like a per transaction fee rather than a percentage fee. I think it would be incredible to be able to on-ramp onto a layer 2, whether it's XDAI or anything else. Like, for example, I mean, maybe these are only dream features and completely unreasonable and we're not going to find it, but we should have a list of what it is that we want. And then we should have a list of like, who are the providers that provide this? And then we need to have conversations with them and say like, well, you know, we're a non-profit 501(c) or whatever it's called. What can you do for us? Or like, can you even do this or not? Like, none of this is dev task. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, there's a whole lot of like the definition of what the requirement is from our side and who can provide that to us. You know what I mean? And
totally.
It's just been hanging around for months now. So like, I don't know I think we need to action it somehow a little bit differently to make it move forward.
Yeah,
basically.
This is another one that seems like it's a really good idea to put it on the governance agenda, because there's a key decision that needs to be made with multiple stakeholders contributing to that decision. And so maybe like a little working group to track the information, make sure the information gets to the right people, and then we can make those decisions in governance. So I'm happy to add it onto the agenda and make sure we get what you're raising right now addressed on Monday.
Cool. Thanks.
I can help do some research and organization a little bit around the working group, but I sat down and did a lot of research on the subject the other day. It's just like at this point, I think it's past my knowledge base of what's actually useful for our particular use case and which ones aren't.
Okay.
Oh, the other thing is Griff actually made an issue about this on the planning board this morning, that we could, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to list Giveth as a project on the giving block, and that'll help us see what their payment pathway process looks like by trying it out as a recipient.
Cool. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Ashley, you can tag along with me on that adventure if you'd like.
Okay.
Cool. Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, if we're really done. Yesterday was Mitch's birthday, and I think we should sing to him.
Do you want to count us in then?
Yeah.
Let's do
everybody
this
has
then.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday
birthday
to you.
Cha-cha-cha.
Happy birthday. Happy
I've never been serenaded by so many robots before. Thank
Love
you, though.
Mitch.
I appreciate it. It's great.
We love you, Mitch.
Yeah. I had a good birthday. I had a barbecue. I ate frog's legs.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does
Delicious.
it taste like chicken?
Tastes like chicken and seafood, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Prepared by a real Frenchman.
Wow.
Mm.
Yeah. Crazy, yeah?
I just want to say that Frenchmen, we don't usually eat frog legs. It's a myth. It's a myth.
I don't believe that at all.
I don't believe it, man. It was too French. I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much.
Hey, I'm seeing something pop up on another channel that tells me XDAI is really unstable and having problems right now. I don't know. That's one of the things I guess I'll take over to communications is we should be thinking about when do we need to have alerts, an alert process to users on Giveth when certain things are not functioning at their optimal condition or something, or are down.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. So, I mean, we could have like a banner on our website or something, or do you mean like to email them?
No, just a banner. I'll make an issue. It's just something I just happened to realize that we should probably have something in the wings for when servers go down. We've already had that happen once right at launch. Like just have something that we can go update the text and put it up there if something's not working.
All right. Cool.
Marco. Little design thing.
Is that a wrap?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Always a pleasure, y'all.
Thank
Thanks,
you so
everyone.
much.
All right. See you guys.